This video is brought to you by Sporlan, quality, integrity, and tradition.
Well, it is that time. We are going to be, let's see, today is Monday the 8th. We're going to be replacing 4 air conditioners up here on Wednesday morning. So what we're doing today is just coming out here to do what little bit of work we can do. We're staging all of our materials that we're going to need: electrical, disconnects, curb tape. Potentially we're going to install some thermostats today, and then we're going to do some drain line work. So this existing one, this AC, for some reason drains all the way across the roof, and because it's elevated so high, it's gotten stepped on, it's been just messed up. So we're going to move that closer to the ground. So for today, this guy's just going to drain onto the roof, which will be fine. We're going to lower this drain line down, hopefully to about the level of that little block right there, is my thought. So I've already cleaned and cut down the roof jack that was going around the drain line. I cut that down. It was just that aluminum, or I don't know what that is, tin or what. It's really soft. I was able to cut it with a razor blade. So I wonder if that's, is that I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's lead. I don't think it's lead, is it? I don't know, whatever. Anyways, cut that down. So then I'm gonna go get a T, and we're gonna try to lower it down to this level to where it can sit on these blocks, hopefully, and then be supported better. That's the idea, at least. We'll probably end up getting the gas lines disconnected today because we don't need gas heat right now. So we'll get all that taken. Yeah, and just trying to get ready for this job, make it easier. All new disconnects, all that stuff. All right, so I pre-ran the drains, got it dropped down. We're not expecting any rain, so I'm not gonna worry about sealing that up right now, because if we seal that up with mastic, we're gonna have it all over our boots in 2 days. So mastic is the last thing we wanna do. So the drain is pre-ran. It's just coming over this way, and it's teeing this way, going over. I'm utilizing what's good of the existing drain line, right? And we'll just spray paint it all black, so it'll look nice. I ended up moving it back further. That way it just utilized the piece right here, got this away from the area where we're gonna step as much, you know, that way, so that way people aren't tripping over it as much. And that's all we're gonna do for now. So we're gonna leave these guys draining on the roof for today. This guy's all iced up. That's part of the reason why we're changing it. We're just gonna leave this draining on the roof for today. That's fine. So my next thing is the gas lines. So we're going to, because we don't need heat right now because it's September 8th and it's almost 100 degrees outside. We're gonna pull those gas valves off. I've got a new close nipple that's gonna put it closer, and I've got a new gas valve to shut off. And we're gonna do that for every AC that we're changing, and just leave the gas lines disconnected, so that when we come to do the roof swap, you know, it's that much easier. We don't got to deal with disconnecting gas lines. So that's my next thing, is we're going to go find all the gas lines, take those stubs off. We're going to get rid of those flex connectors, and I'm just going to put a shut off for now, and then we'll deal with, you know, the hard pipe and the gas line on the day that we do it. But for now, I'm just going to get the shut offs put in, dropped them down, and all that good stuff. We've changed all the thermostats. I have a technician downstairs. He changed all the thermostats. We verified they all work, so that part is done. So yeah. All right, took us about an hour, but we got 4 units set. We utilized the old curb because that was already existing. New unit on this. This one needed a curb adapter, so the 2 small units got new curb adapters. So they're all set. Some of these things look a little crooked. This one looks a little off. We're gonna double check that. Make sure it's sitting down properly. But we checked level, everything was level. This one looks weird though. Might just need to shift it. But yeah, that's where we're at. So we're gonna get the dining room running first because the kitchen can wait. So we're gonna focus on this unit, drain, electrical. We're not worried about gas right now. We'll deal with that later. Working our way through the electrical. These ones don't have ground, so I was able to get a grounding guy on there too. So at least we have somewhere to put it and we're still tightened down and everything. So we'll be able to add a ground from here up. All right, we are just about done for today. We're not done with the job. We still got to do gas lines, but all that we did was got electrical, thermostats, drain lines ran, units started up, phase rotation checked. Now we're gonna do a full startup later, but they're running. At least this one's running, this one's running. We're about to turn this one and this one on. We're working on the drain for this one. As far as the outside air dampers, we did not hook up the economizers right now. We just manually open the dampers because they have a massively negative air pressure in this building. So we have to open these. So I just manually opened them up. I need to manually open this one still. And then we will come back and program the economizers and do all that later. All right, all the drains are done. Every unit is running at the moment. Yep, this guy's good. They're all running. They're all cleaned up. So like I said, just gas lines, economizers, full system startup, check and charge, all that stuff. We'll do that when we come back, but everything's running for now. All right, we're back today. We're getting started on the gas lines over there. And this one, we're gonna work on the economizer, getting that taken care of. We had to shift the curb adapter because we didn't change that curb adapter, but yesterday as I was leaving, I felt air blowing out the bottom. And the curb adapter itself, not really the right size, but it's already there. But they didn't put any curb tape underneath it. So I had to like lift the unit up, shift it around, put some curb tape under it in hopes that it solves majority of our problems. But it should be better than it was basically. But yeah, we're gonna get started on wiring in the economizer and getting that all dialed in now. All right, well, I'm not a fan of all this crap and all the unnecessary electrical that's not being used, all the extra wires that aren't being used, you know, all that stuff, but it's life, it's how it goes. So we got this guy wired in, set up, currently commissioning the economizer, making sure that the damper closes, so we're done. That's the damper test. And then now we want damper open all the way, start. So we're gonna do the opposite test, and then we've already got one gas line. Will is working on that. He already got one gas line completed. Leak free, good to go. Got rid of all that flex crap. Andy and Angel are working on wiring this economizer up. Now that we got one that's potentially working, and then we just got to commission them all. So we're using the Siemens controller, and I personally don't like using the buttons. I like using the Wi-Fi stick and doing it that way. So we're just doing all the tests, making sure it works, and then we're going to repeat the process on all 3 of the other units. All right, got all the economizers wired, got them all set for the minimum positions. They're open the way they should be. Got all the cooling started up. Really didn't have to do things, adjusted the airflow a little bit, but the cooling is fine for every unit. We ran all the gas lines. We're about to paint everything. And then last thing is, we're not gonna do it today. We need to come back and do the heat startup. But we've got customers in the building and I really don't wanna make the smell and all that good stuff. So we're just kind of wrapping it up. We're gonna put some sealant underneath those blocks and strap the drain line down to it and kind of go from there. All right, I'm hoping this is the last day on this job. We got, you know, you guys saw the clips. We got everything done yesterday. Now we're starting up the heat. So we never hooked up the heat to the kitchen, so sent my service technician down to the thermostat. But what we did was pulled the heat exchanger panels, put them so it's blowing the smoke smell out here, right? Because it's got to burn off the oil. These heat exchangers are like coated. I can only assume that they're coated for shipping reasons, so that way they don't corrode. That would be my only assumption, but they're typically like covered in an oil, and it'll be kind of smoky and smelly on the first couple fires of the heat exchanger. So we're burning that off. So this is running right now, and because we put that panel down there, as the air comes out of the indoor blower wheel, or the axial blower now, right, it blows it down, it hits that panel and forces it out, hence why you see that right over there bouncing, right? So we're burning off every heat exchanger, let it run for 5-10 minutes, somewhere in there, and then we'll shut the units down and we'll start, yeah, this one's moving some serious air. We'll start adjusting gas pressures, right? So every one of these units is single stage for gas. You can see the pink wire is not hooked up. There is no spot for it because these are single stage gas valves. So we don't need to worry about the second stage as far as heating goes. So we're just gonna set the gas pressure and then check the temp rise. This one's running, moving air. So yeah, we're just gonna let them burn off for a little bit. And then once those are done, we'll shut them down and we will start setting the gas pressure. All right, polishing a turd. They definitely need to let us do some duct renovations here and fix some stuff, but we got the units working, the gas pressure set, temperature rise is good, everything's cool. So this building is done, this install is done. We'll make recommendations to the customer about fixing some ductwork and stuff. But yeah, we had no idea. I knew that we were gonna have ductwork problems because remember, we had to add these curb adapters to these units. And before, the air was really choked off. So there was no real way of estimating what we were gonna have to do till we get the units flowing properly. But yeah, that's where we're at. We adjusted the outside air dampers a little bit more, but they also need some work because the building balance is extremely negative because both of their makeup units have been off for like 15 years-ish, somewhere in there. So that'll be the next thing, is bringing that up to them, getting the makeup air units working, because then I'll be able to close the outside air dampers on the AC significantly, just open them like 15% on each of them. That way we just satisfy our fresh air requirements for the building. But yeah, these units are doing everything they could possibly do. They're all set up. Man, this has been a long time coming. These ACs were in bad shape and they needed some love, okay? Actually, that entire building, you guys have already probably seen the video where I did the air balance on that building and I kind of panned over and showed the new ACs. I just hadn't had a chance to edit this video yet, okay? So we finally got in there and we were able to replace all the ACs basically, minus the bar AC, and got that building a new lease at life basically. So after I did this AC job, and this was a complex project with multiple people, right? I wish I could have shown the crane. The crane was awesome, man. It was a 40-ton, what I call like a midget crane, because it was super short and it had a short wheelbase and it had articulating wheels in the back. And we had a really interesting predicament in that this building's kind of on a parking structure. Part of it is, so the crane had to be a specialized crane that could make a U-turn in the middle of their parking lot without going on the parking structure. It was pretty cool. It was a neat crane, man. But yeah, it was pretty neat, pretty cool job. Obviously we started early because there was a lot of work involved in this job, and it was a multi-day process. I think between the install, you know, the startup, the cooling, the heating startup, and, you know, everything that we did, I think it was like a 3-day process, you know, getting everything done amidst other service calls and other things, you know. So it was fun though. And this was a long overdue project. This restaurant really needed it. Those ACs were from like 2002, 2003, I believe, and they were just done. So now the building has a new lease on life. They basically have new ACs and one new-ish bar AC that was changed about 3-4 years ago. So, and then after that, which you guys have seen the video, we went in once we got all the ACs changed out and did a nice building air balance, turned on their makeup units, slowed down a bunch of exhaust fans, and the customer is like over the moon ecstatic with how awesome it is to not have that giant negative air pressure problem in the building. So it was fun. I really appreciate you making it to the end of the videos. Thank you so very much. You guys have feedback, comments, advice, anything, I'm always willing to hear it. Criticism, I'm looking forward to it, okay? I grow from criticism. As long as it's constructive, it's awesome. So do me a favor, leave me some feedback in the comments and or shoot me an email, hvacrvideos.com. or hvacrvideos@gmail.com. Sorry about that. Again, I'm always looking for advice. I truly am. So you have some criticism, give it to me. Like, you know, don't be a jerk about it, but give it to me, because maybe I can grow from it. Maybe I can become a better service technician, and I can show that new information you gave me to the masses, so that way we can help the next guy, right? So if you're interested in supporting the channel, the easiest way to do so is to simply watch the videos from beginning to end. That really is the easiest way. But you can also go to PayPal, Patreon, or YouTube channel memberships, of which there's links in the show notes of this video.
If you're interested, check out my website, hvacrvideos.com, where we have merchandise such as these hats available, which is a great way to help support the channel. We handle fulfillment from our own home. My wife packages everything and, processes the orders and all that good stuff. So it's a nice family affair. So hvacrvideos.com. And last but not least, you see any cool tools that I used in this video, you can go check out TrueTechTools.com. I get a good majority of my tools from them, and I actually have an affiliate program set up with them. So if you find anything you like on their website at checkout, there's usually a spot for an offer code or a discount code. You can use my affiliate code, big picture, one word, at checkout, and it applies to majority of the items on their website. When it goes through, I get a small commission and you get a nice discount on your order. So it's a win-win. So thank you so very much. I truly do appreciate you, and I hope to catch you on the next one.